Can you guys hear me all right? So for BTC, We are looking at the equal lows here. They got tapped, but again, not very strong reaction. Like it didn't beat any higher time frame here. But we still have this daily NF here on the futures, which is a little scary, but very possible. Like we didn't see any break above here, so I wouldn't really touch this right now, just because we didn't have any reaction. And I don't know if you guys have been following Bitcoin. Like whenever it pumps, you don't have time to enter. It's bullish. So since we're not seeing that much of a reaction here, I wouldn't touch it just yet. Could still see this coming down here. This daily NF, it's on the futures, if anybody's wondering. So there is still a valid accumulation on Bitcoin, since we did come with the spring and tap these two equal lows. I would only suggest entering once it actually gets here, beats something, and then comes back, because as we saw on the futures here, we have an NF here. So this is probably what I would see happening. Like if we're looking at this NF going up here and then coming down to the zone here that we have somewhere around here as the last points of supply, and then after that we could see some bullish price action. But again, like be very careful with this, because it might come down to the big NF down here. It's a little scary to say, but there are other inefficiencies down here as well that are not too nice to look at. Here towards 20K, we have some more around here. Like although this stuff hasn't been mitigated yet, it's a little scary just to look at. But then again, you also have to think about like what banks are doing. Like as it's going down, the only thing that they're seeing is that it's going up. Like they're buying at a discount, especially like at these NFs here. I don't personally think that it's gonna come down here, but it's a possibility. We have the SC here that got tapped like on lower time frames on the 2 hour, but again, not a very nice reaction from what I see. Like this here was nice, broke structure, but here it's crucial. Like here, if it starts going down from here, like could see it going a lot lower, but we still have this little area around here that could provide some sort of support. Do you guys have any charts you want me to do? Also, guys, like we're looking at the majors right now and stuff, and these guys, like if you look from the top, it wasn't that bad. Like, I mean, if you were leveraged, you got really, really not even gonna say it, but you know, you have a 50% drop here that happened on Bitcoin, but when you look at alts like Ethereum and stuff like that, you see that these drops are a lot steeper. So the conclusion from this is that whenever you see that Bitcoin is going in for a dump, or your Bitcoin has gone through a dump and you're trying to re-enter on that dip, stay away from alts because they're just gonna dump twice as hard as Bitcoin. Like you can see ICP, which is one of the front runners from Coinbase. They were so hyped about being listed and everything. Like this guy went down freaking 95% or what yeah, 95%. You know, it's not something you should be looking at. All these alts just dump so hard in bear markets. It's just at this point, if you see that you're in a bear market and you're trying to call the bottom, even though it is like trying to catch a falling knife, your odds are a little better on Bitcoin just because it moves less, because there's more money being put into it. Like you have the same stuff like Dot. Dot was one of the front runners as well, like 73% loss. You have RSR, which this is not even worth talking about. Like one of the best projects I've seen in a while go down 83% from the top. Like Cope, also same shit. This one was even worse. 90% down. Litecoin, another one that people really seem to like. Uh, it's just at that point like you're seeing these drops 74% stuff like that. Like you shouldn't be staying in something like that when you know it's either make it or break. Bitcoin right now is either gonna pump to the moon or it's gonna come down, and odds are if it does come down to this NF or this zone where there was a lot of liquidity, like the daily gap on the futures, like odds are your other cryptos aren't gonna dump like another 40% like Bitcoin is. They're gonna dump 90%. And guys, just because something went down 90%, 90%, you can't think of it going. You can't think that it's not going to go down another 5% or another 90%, you know? Can you confirm that BTC on the 15 time frame might make a lower low soon? It also black volume, also pretty dead. Ethereum. Yeah, so Bitcoin on lower time frames, I personally don't look at lower time frames because I find it useless. Like, you're not gonna call anything on lower time frames. But I we do see a few breaks of structure here, even though like they're on lower time frame, they don't mean much. There's still breaks of structure that I would not disregard them. But again, be careful because I don't know if you guys noticed, but on like whenever you have bear markets, people always tend to think that a little dump like into here is another bear market that's starting. It's tends not to be that. Like whenever you see people saying that, oh, we're going down, we're going to zero, usually it tends to be the time that you should buy because the goal of the market is not free money. The goal of the market is to fuck as many people as possible in the shortest period of time. I would really stay away from lower time frames. I would focus on higher time frames for now. BTC I would go down to maybe like the 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour. That would be like the max that I would go to, just because like we still see some sort of structure on there. But other than that, you should really stick to higher time frames if you're trying to call some lower lows or higher highs. if we do end up seeing like Ethereum pumping and breaking structure, like if this area here, this NF, I would definitely recommend either taking some positions off or maybe taking some shorts because like we have a lot of mitigation to do here. And I would honestly, if it comes to tap this SC here before before it goes up, then I might start looking for longs again because this might be invalidated because here we have a nice mitigation. If the reaction here as well as volume is supported, I would start to look for longs there. But yeah, if we just keep pumping until this 4 day and I would definitely take some positions off. And same goes for BTC. Like if we do manage to break this area here, like if we do manage to go up here before coming to tap this daily NF, I would recommend taking a lot of positions off because it's all a game of who takes more money from more people. It's the banks are always gonna want to clean you. Binance, FTX, all your exchanges are always gonna attempt to clean you out. They're not there for you to make money. If you make money, they lose it, you know. It's not something that you should look at. It's a zero sum game always. Cope basically, well, it was a good project like in the beginning whenever I started looking at it, but looking at how it's acting now, man, I wouldn't touch this with 10-foot pole. It's not something that you should be trading. It's not something that has a high market cap. It's not something that's you know talked about. It's it's really either make it or break it. And I don't like to trade based on chance. I like to trade stuff that I know. So I wouldn't listen to people telling you that. I would focus on your own analysis and what you think is going to happen because usually what people say is the opposite of what's actually going to happen. So if people say that it's going to go to 48 or 52K, I would imagine it's going to come down to fucking 20, stop out all these fuckers who think it's going to go to 48, 50, and then it's going to go there. That's how the crypto market works. Like you like it or not. Like that's how it's gonna go. And I've seen a lot of people say like oh it's gonna come back up and everything, but where? From what? It's not just gonna go up. It's gonna go up if people are taking shorts. And if people are taking shorts and people aren't taking shorts right now, they're in depression right now because Bitcoin is fucking low and nobody wants to nobody wants to believe that it could go lower. Everybody thinks, oh, it went down 50%, now it's time to go back up. No, it's not how the market works. If it goes down 50%, it can go another 90, it can go 90% down. Yeah, it would really, really suck for a bunch of people, for these praying hodlers. But I mean, they're not wrong. If you're playing in this market and you're hodling and you're just buying up the coins whenever they're low and you're taking losses, it's not that bad because like eventually it is gonna go back up. The crypto market's not going anywhere. If anything, it's gonna go up. But in the meantime, it's gonna stop out absolutely everybody who's in leverage, whether you're long or short. Like unless you get the bottom, which usually does not is not the case, you're gonna get stopped out at some point if you don't know when to take profits. Like the only way to trade leverage on Bitcoin is having risk management and scalping, to be honest. Like taking leverage on big positions is not something I would recommend. But yeah, it's gonna be max pain if in the next couple of days it will be max pain. I feel like it's gonna be worse than max pain. But yeah, I'm gonna be posting all of these charts on my channel, like in Bird Nest. But if you guys have like, I'm a little busy today, so if you guys have any other chart requests, I can do them right now. But if not, I'll end the stream in a couple of minutes. As I said, here like on the futures, we have a big ass gap on the daily, which I would definitely see getting filled. Like other than that, like you have the gap here, which necessarily long and short orders that weren't mitigated. Like you have all of these stop losses, all these people who have positions from down there and that haven't been stopped out yet on leverage, whether you like it or not. But I would definitely see it coming down here, and maybe even coming down because from this past like year of trading, what I've learned is that usually like it tends to either come down here or it either comes down here and mitigates something under here and then pops. Like exactly like it happened here. Bitcoin really likes equal lows and equal highs. Like it really, really, really enjoys tapping stuff and just getting away out of like no like just no sign of it going up, but it just likes to pop off from there. Like you have the equal lows here that got tapped. But yeah, this is probably where I would start stacking up on some positions because from here like we would have like the ultimate, I'd say, mitigation. But then again, we also have a bunch of NFs going down like on the 4 hour and stuff like that here, which I definitely see getting filled. So yeah, other than that, I don't have much to talk about. Like all these alts, I would stay away from now. Like even if you think they're good alts and stuff, like I would just stay away for now. If you see that Bitcoin starts going up, then we might be seeing some nice price action from alts. But then again, you have to know what you're investing in. So like if you're putting it in AAVE, some good stuff like that, Link, Solana, stuff that actually backs other shit like XRP, then I would recommend maybe stacking up on some positions there. But first and foremost, you have to know where Bitcoin is going because whether you like it or not, all of your alts depend on Bitcoin, whether how good they are. Like it really doesn't matter how good they are. They all depend on Bitcoin. I'll post these two charts that I have like on Ethereum and Bitcoin on my channel again. Other than that, I'll see you guys.